Hey everyone, I have a disclaimer before we get into the actual video or videos, because I do have clips of things that I video today, and that is a trigger warning. If you're triggered by things such as homelessness, lack of government concern with individual rights, mental illness, this probably isn't a video for you. If you are experiencing mental illness, a child with mental illness, and you're feeling hopeless and helpless, I hope this may help you not feel so alone. Hi guys. This isn't a video I had planned on putting up today. I had another one that actually featured motorcycles. Something happened this morning, and I'm still very shaken by it. Drinking espresso, you know, at whatever time it is now. 4:30 in the afternoon is not exactly going to help me, but here's to Dallas, in a state that cares about its residents. It's about my son Joshua. I just spill my coffee everywhere, so I don't have coffee down here. I got a phone call this morning from a caseworker that works out of OHSU. Joshua aged out of her program years ago, but she still helps me find him. She saw him today and gave me a call. She saw a movement and she recognized Joshua. She had a warning for me before I went down there. She said it was bad. It was very bad. He refused medical care. He refused any help. He didn't recognize her immediately, but he ended up saying, "Hey, I think I know you." I took some video on my way down there and on my way back. I'm not going to put any pictures in of Joshua today. It wouldn't be right because what I saw was too disturbing. Over the last few weeks, I've been getting a lot of messages from moms, parents, moms in my situation, and with a son like Joshua that's homeless or about to be homeless, or has the same mental illnesses that he has. And people ask me why I put videos up about Joshua. I've even had people accuse me of exploiting him for my channel. No. It's for these moms, so they don't feel all alone. I watched these two clips that I'm going to put up, and I noticed something. I have one of my disabilities is from a medication I was taken when I was misdiagnosed, called, not the medicine, but the disability is called tardive dyskinesia. And it affected me from an antipsychotic that they had put me on when they thought I had bipolar, before they realized what I really have was complex PTSD. So they put me on this medication, and I ended up getting tardive dyskinesia. It's lifelong. It will never go away. But I am on a medication called Keppra, 2,000 milligrams a day, that keeps it under control. You may be noticing it now. If you go back and look at some of my videos, you may notice it if I'm in a high stress situation. I noticed it a lot in this video. Not as bad as it usually is, but if you watch my mouth movements, my tongue, you'll see that. You'll see the stress that I'm under. You'll see where I've scratched my chest. I didn't realize any of this until I watched the videos. But I'll tell you kind of what happened, because I don't think I addressed it in these two videos. Going to Portland or coming back, but you'll be able to see some of what Portland unfortunately has become. And kind of a disclaimer here, I ended up calling our governor the mayor in a section. Well, she's not the mayor. That would be a little bit better than her being the governor of the entire state, in my opinion. So she's not the mayor, she is the governor, unfortunately. People like to ask me, why don't you get him off of the street? Well, duh, I've tried for only 9 years. We have the money, we have the resources, we have everything to put him in an apartment, pay for therapy, get him on Social Security, but he has to be willing. I cannot get a doctor in this place. Yeah, no makeup on because I'm going to end up crying more than likely. My eyes are swollen. Sorry, guys. I can't get a doctor to do a psych eval because they say they'll take his rights away. As you know from other videos, if you've seen them about Joshua, when they say that to me, my response is always, so you're going to call the parents whose child he has severely harmed to let them know because you decided not to take my son's rights, their child is severely injured or worse. They end up walking out of the room. What I saw today was beyond disturbing for me. Joshua grew up in an upper middle class home. He had everything he wanted, but his genetics unfortunately determined his outcome. He didn't ask to be formed in a system that was drug and alcohol filled. He didn't ask to have autism, bipolar, and paranoid schizophrenia. He didn't ask for any of that. His dad used to tell me that he was praying for Joshua to be taken home. If you're a believer, you know what I'm speaking of. I would get angry, very angry. Today, that's my prayer too. My son is not living a life. When I saw him sitting there, I wasn't sure it was him. He had his back to me and he's lost some of the hair on the back of his head. I put my window down and I yelled his name and he turned and he looked and it's like, oh my gosh, that's my son. He was sitting up. When the social worker saw him, he was lying in the street, unable to move. I got to him and he thought I was a clone. So he had all these security questions for me to answer, which I answered. He didn't look like he had worn shoes in years. He was sitting in filth, excrement. And I thought at first water, because he had some sort of a container that would carry liquid, but it wasn't, because it kept, throughout the time, the hours that I was there today, it kept increasing. So he was sitting in his urine. I could see lice in his beard and in his hair. Wounds were all over him. There were wounds on the back of his head, track marks. He had a needle right there in the dirt. I'm sure my son probably has every disease known to man. There's only one good thing I think I can, maybe two. I saw my son. I got to work or talk to some outreach people, and there was a young man that's newly homeless, very clean cut, was drinking a quart of milk, very nice. He asked me to text his sister so she could bring him his cell phone, and he was watching Joshua. We spoke for about a half an hour, and he said, is he mentally ill? And I told him of his illnesses. He said, why can't you get him help? I said, because the city will arrest me if I try to. Can't you take him to the hospital because he's clearly incapacitated? No. They see a druggie. They don't see my son. And as soon as he's lucid and out of this psychotic state that he's in right now, he'll refuse medical treatment and they'll release him to the streets. This has been the pattern for 9 years. There are states I could take him to and I could have him hospitalized. But first I would have to get him showered and clean and lice free and all of that, and then on an airplane. We all know that's not going to happen. Oregon, make it easier. When I was speaking, the outreach came up to me. I think a guy named Brian, maybe, Adrian or Dorian, and then there was a woman. They caught me. Okay, so I was a hairdresser in a former life, like pre-kids, and I just felt something crawling on my foot, and I'm like, lice, oh my gosh. No, it was a hair. Outreach came out to me, and I kind of talked to him about what was happening with my son, and they looked at me and said, what do you need? I need my son, okay? I want him off the streets. That's what I need. They talked about support groups, which I don't think I would really get much out of. I know I would be able to give a lot. I'm already in therapy, as most of you know, I have been for years. Nothing prepares a parent for this. Nothing prepares you. People are naive. They're naive to see your child sitting there. He's 28, but he's still my kid. Emotionally, he's probably around 12, 13 years old. To see my kid sitting there laughing at imaginary conversations, fighting dragons that aren't really there, twitching and shaking, sucking down a root beer that a stranger off the street handed him, and the strawberry milkshake that he asked me for, sugar, which is meth. Well, sugar's not meth, but you know what I'm talking about. They want sugar. I asked him to show me his teeth. Most of his teeth are still there. His nose has been broken again. Why am I putting this out there? To help the other moms in my position. To help bring awareness of how much Oregon sucks at their mental health system. The homelessness is rampant here, and nobody wants to take anyone's rights, which I agree with. You shouldn't take anyone's rights that are capable and are able to make a sound, rational decision. Not someone that's dealing with autism, bipolar, and paranoid schizophrenia. They need help, not thrown out on the streets to live in filth, to attack people, like happened to my friend and me the last time, or when she went down with me for Joshua's birthday. So here are a couple of clips of what I filmed on the way down, and I'll be back at the end. Hey guys. Sorry I'm looking so disheveled. I got a phone call that a caseworker has found Joshua. I'm hoping he's still going to be there when I get there. She said he was not looking good, but he wanted his mom. And I missed the call, and so I called her back and had a pretty good conversation with her. He is very disoriented. She said he's in really bad shape. Oh my gosh. But we kept telling her, call my mom, call my mom. I forgot any protection for me on my rush out of the house to get there for him. This is going into a war zone, guys. I mean, this is scary, but this is my son. I don't know what I'm going to find. I don't know if I can talk him into going to the hospital. Probably not. He doesn't trust them, but I could tell him I can scan them with my phone. That might get him to say okay. I hate this government in Oregon. Evidently, our mayor was all over the news last night. I don't watch it anymore, but I just heard about it. She was all over the news, and the topic of conversation was how horrible of a governor she is, and the just absolutely devastated state that Oregon is in at this moment. This might be a pivotal point in putting my house on the market and getting out of here. And it tears me because of Joshua. When you know it, everyone's going downtown. Damn it. What the heck is everybody going downtown for? There's nothing to go downtown for. I don't see any events happening. Oh wait, there's a stage set up, but my gosh, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Come on people, let me in. I need to get over there and get my son. This is frustrating. This line is so long. What the heck is happening? It's ridiculous. I'm going to show you guys something. That is what Portland looks like right there. I left my house today and I had to go down the back way. Oh my goodness, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Look at that over there. That's only a tiny part, and that is, thank you, Kate Brown. I really appreciate it for your lack of leadership. Shit. Figure out which way the streets go here. Oh my God. Joshua! Joshua! Oh, that's not him. So how do I get out of this place? Freaking parking lot. They're taking over the parking lots. Here to Northwest Everett. I hope it's not a one-way street. hard to drive and be on the lookout for someone that's homeless when everyone here is homeless. Okay, this next street's got to be. It's a one-way damn street. Here, that's what I'm coming into. This is disgusting. Okay, here's Everett.
Stop rubbernecking.
Why don't you shut up, you Tell me to stop rubbernecking. I'm looking for my son. Joshua! Come on, you go. Joshua! 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 Dang it, I'm afraid to even get out here. Joshua! I'm gonna have to call her. I can't find him. It says no parking, but screw it. Just now leaving Portland. It's about 1 o'clock. I found Joshua. I didn't film him for his privacy, but it wasn't good. A lot of the people came up to me and talked to me. They knew him. He didn't know who I was. He asked me to make sure that I wasn't a clone. If I knew his middle names, he has 2 middle names, and yeah, I think I remember those. I went and got him some food, and I cried. I tried having a conversation with him, but it wasn't possible. It wasn't possible in any way to have a conversation with him. I told him that I would call an ambulance, which he refused. Had I called an ambulance on my own, he would have refused it. Oregon just is so absolutely insane. It's absolutely ridiculous. People would come up to me and ask me if that was my son. Yeah, that's my son. There was one kid I spoke with, his name was Nick. Spoke with him for a while, and he's homeless. His mind was absolutely blown. I told him Joshua's story, and I'm hoping that might get him off the street, because he couldn't believe the state that my son was in, and he kept shaking his head like, I can't believe this. This is crazy. This is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy living in this godforsaken state. It's heartbreaking. But maybe that one young man I spoke with, maybe it'll get through to him and he won't end up in the same situation. I wanted to try to wait until Joshua was somewhat coherent. He had just done a hit of meth before I got there, and I knew staying wasn't going to be doing either of us any good or me any good, but it was hard to walk away. It was, even when I left, it was so hard to leave knowing that that's my son. And I have no right, according to this state, to help him. I would be arrested. Some outreach workers stopped. They saw me talking to him. They saw Joshua on the street. He can't walk. I don't know if he's hurt. He would not let me call an ambulance. But they stopped. I gave them my card. They gave me their card. There's really not a lot to say. Nothing can be done. A guy did show up, and I met him when we were down there the weekend of Joshua's birthday. I gave him my phone number again. He put it in his wallet. I asked everyone there that knew Joshua to remind him when he was more coherent that I was there and that I love him. It's absolutely horrible. What's ironic is over this last month, maybe, I've been getting so many more comments on my videos about Joshua from moms in the same situation that can't help their kids because whichever state they're in won't allow them to. If I could get him out of this state, there are several states I would be able to have him hospitalized and a psych eval done. But not here, because they just don't care. Outreach was wonderful. They took my phone number. They gave me their phone number. Told me to give them a call anytime. They were speaking about support groups for parents. You know, I know there are a lot of people that would really benefit. I don't think I'm one of those people. I'm in therapy myself already. So I think, you know, I don't know, maybe speaking to some of the parents might help them, but I don't know how it could benefit me. Oh, there's Cuba to Cuba. Cuba to Cuba. My daughter's one of her favorite places to eat. I can't eat because there's nowhere I can wash my hands. And to say it was filthy down there is not even really adequate to describe the conditions. There's a salt and straw up here. I should stop and get ice cream because right now I don't really care. But I can't go in, so forget that. I'll put in the link above in the cards and also in the description box links to some other videos about Joshua and the situation if you want to check them out. But I'm gonna have to go right now because I can't concentrate because of everything I just saw, everything that I can't stop. There's not one thing I can do to help my son and not be in trouble with the state. There's not one thing. Well, except I took him food. You guys have a good day, if you can, and I'll see you guys soon. There you go. There it is. You saw my twitching, my mouth, my tongue. My stress level was high. I've already taken my Keppra. My side effects should be well under control, and they're not. People, moms, dads, drop it in the comments if there's anything I can do to help you, to answer your questions, or just because you don't want to feel as alone as I feel. Looking at police today, outreach workers, social workers that can't do anything to help my son or to help me gain control of my son, to be able to get him out of the streets, off of meth, and into treatment, an apartment, and a career as the fabulous musician that he was. And I know it's still there. Seeing Joshua's plight these last few years has really given me I don't know if I can say that it's just Joshua, but dealing with things that I have over the last 10 years, I have totally done an about change with the way I view society, the world, people. There's not one person on this earth I trust. Not one. But I can see where before I had very firm boundaries, very firm ideals, ideas, things that I thought were concrete, I see now are not concrete. They're very fluid. I've become much more compassionate toward not only the homeless, but people that are suffering other types of illnesses or situations. I still will not give the homeless money because that only enables them. I'll buy them food. I will contribute to the drives of the blankets and the shoes and all of that, but I will not directly give it to my son. He will be beaten and he could be killed over a new pair of shoes. I guess I did pretty good. I didn't end up crying. I don't know what the heck happened to my hair. Who cares? It's not important. My son is important. Love your kids. Get out of this polarized mentality that the government has us in right now. They're pitting us against each other. Get out of it. Don't let them do that to you. You think for yourself. Love, respect. Yeah, there are boundaries that need to be drawn. I've had to draw them. My husband's had to draw them. I don't know what else to say, guys. So I'm going to sign off before I ramble. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have up another video with my motorcycle, and then I have some ride footage that I'm going to start editing tomorrow as well. Hopefully I'll have that up too. I apologize for not being my usual self. I can't pull it off today. I can't pull that person out. I made it through without crying though, so that's an accomplishment. If you guys have any questions, thoughts, ideas, if you need help, if you need not to feel alone, drop it in the comment box. And I do read and I do answer as many of my comments as I can. Thank you so much for watching this. Please keep Joshua in your thoughts. And I'll see you soon. Peace.